Imagine watching a high-stakes football game from the quiet stands. The final whistle blows, echoing across the field, and the scoreboard displays 45 points. But when you check the official play-by-play statistics, you can only account for 38 points. In any sport, the rule is absolute. The final score and the detailed play record must match perfectly. You cannot have points on the board without a documented drive that put them there. If the underlying stat sheet contains errors that cannot be reconciled, the league cannot declare a winner. They certainly do not hand out a championship trophy. When a scoreboard completely detaches from the verified plays on the field, the event stops being a competition. It becomes a dispute. In the 2020 United States election, the state voter rolls acted as the official play-by-play stat sheet, and the certified ballot count became the final scoreboard. This animated ledger shows exactly what happened in Pennsylvania. Officials certified a scoreboard that included 155,053 more ballots than the number of voters recorded on their own stat sheet. In Georgia, the system counted 22,534 more ballots than recorded voters. That discrepancy is nearly twice the state's certified margin of victory. Michigan reported a gap of 499,850 fewer voter IDs than certified ballots. Despite massive mathematical failures where the stat sheets explicitly contradicted the scoreboards, state officials rushed to certify the results and hand out the trophy anyway. We have to look at how these errors occurred, starting with Pennsylvania's statewide Uniform Registry of Electors, or SURE system. This database is the state's legally mandated record of who actually voted. The SURE system explicitly recorded 6,760,230 voters participating in the election. Yet the state finalized a count of 6,915,283 ballots. When people hear about discrepancies, they usually ask for a recount. But recounts only retally the physical ballots on the scoreboard. They never cross-reference the actual voters on the stat sheet. No recount mechanism in existence is designed to fix a 155,053 vote discrepancy. Pennsylvania codified a final score without ever verifying where those extra points came from. The same breakdown occurred in Fulton County, Georgia, which produced a 22,534 ballot-to-voter gap. State law requires officials to maintain a numbered list of voters during the advance voting period. Fulton County failed to create and maintain this list. Operating an election without that specific list is like a referee actively throwing away the play-by-play tracking sheets in the middle of the third quarter. Because Fulton County severed this audit trail at the earliest link in the chain, it is mathematically impossible for anyone to verify the legitimacy of their final certified count. Michigan presents a problem of a different magnitude, nearly 500,000 missing voter IDs. This investigative document highlights a specific bypass exploit. Election workers forced unverified voters into the electronic system using an impossible placeholder birth date of January 1, 1900, bypassing the required security gates entirely. After the election was over, the state's qualified voter file experienced monthly retroactive alterations. These changes literally rewrote the historical record of who voted and how they cast their ballots. This is the equivalent of team officials sneaking into the locker room after a game to erase and rewrite the stat sheets so they perfectly match an impossible scoreboard. By allowing retroactive alterations to the state voter database, Michigan systematically destroyed the forensic link between the ballots cast and the actual citizens credited with casting them. The math leaves us with a strict binary. When the number of ballots drastically exceeds the number of humans who voted, either the machine count is entirely wrong or the ballots themselves are fraudulent. The officials who certified the 2020 election assumed neither of those scenarios was possible. As a result, they never forensically tested the data to find out. United States elections are federally designated critical infrastructure. Any critical infrastructure verification mechanism that can be easily defeated by ignoring basic math is not a real security system. It is an open target surface for manipulation. As the report documents, every independent, redundant layer capable of confirming or disproving the integrity of the 2020 election was systematically removed or neutralized. A game completely disconnected from its underlying plays is an illusion. When the evidentiary backbone of an election collapses, any claim that the results are legitimate rests purely on institutional trust, rather than objective, verifiable evidence. Bypass the political narratives and examine the raw mathematical evidence for yourself at electioncrimebureau.com.